Alright, so I'm going to go through this worksheet. There's 21 questions here in total, and I'm going to solve all of them on this video. I don't expect you to watch this whole video. I'll set it up so that you can watch whatever you need to watch when you're getting stuck with these things. But I'm going to work through every single one of these questions. To make my life a little bit easier, I've already drawn up a little table of values, so I'll work through that a little bit. Before I start working through this, I think it's really important that I look at the whole sheet because there's a few differences here. Sine, cos, tan, sine, cos, tan. You can see some of the answers are going to be positive and some of them are going to be negative. That's going to be important to us when we start looking at cast. And you can see the domains. Heaps of the first ones are 0 to 2 pi. That's a whole revolution. Some of them are only a single revolution. Half a revolution, 0 to pi, that's 180 degrees. Some of them are half a revolution again, but the bottom half of the circle. And then some of them are 2 revolutions, both positive and negative. So there's a few different things happening in this sheet, but the questions are all the same. And the process, more importantly, is always the same. So let's go. Let's try it out. So question 1. Sine theta equals 1/2, and that's between 0 and 2 pi. Alright, so I'm going to try to work through these quite quickly. I'm going to try to show you my process for doing so. Okay, first of all, 1 sine theta equals 1/2. I'm going to need a circle. And I can see that the question is positive. Sine theta equals 1/2. C-A-S-T. It's a sine question, so it's going to appear in this quadrant, the all positive quadrant, and the sine quadrant there. Next, I'm going to come over here. Sine theta equals 1/2. Sine 1/2, that happens here at pi on 6. Pi on 6 is 30 degrees. So it's going to be here and here. Now, that one's easy. That's pi on 6. So theta equals pi on 6. Then I just need to count around the circle. So pi on 6, just do it with the little tip of my pen here. Pi on 6, 2 pi on 6, 3 pi on 6, 4 pi on 6, 5 pi on 6. 150 degrees, which is what this is the same as 5 pi on 6, 5 30s. Alright, 20 questions to go. The next one here is cos theta equals root 2 on 2. Again, I start with a circle. I look at the question. It's a positive question, C-A-S-T. So it's going to appear in this quadrant and this quadrant. Now, cosine theta equals root 2 on 2. Cosine, root 2 on 2, it's pi on 4. Alright, that's 45 degrees. So that's going to appear here and here. Notice I'm drawing those angles against the x-axis. Okay, so it's going to be pretty straightforward here, I think. The answer is going to be theta equals this one, which is pi on 4, and this angle, which is pi on 4, 2 pi on 4, 3 pi on 4, 4 pi on 4, 5 pi on 4, 6 pi on 4, 7 pi on 4. Alright. Question 3. Tan theta equals root 3 on 3. Now you've probably seen, you might be looking at root 3 on 3 and going, what's that? That's the same as 1 on root 3. They're identical, so it doesn't matter. Okay, tan theta equals root 3 on 3. Again, it's a positive question. So when I draw my circle, C-A-S-T, it's a tan question. So it's going to appear in this quadrant and this quadrant because it's positive. Root 3 on 3, I come over to my handy piece of paper. Tan root 3 on 3 is the same as pi on 6, which is 30 degrees. here, and here. Okay, so the answer to this question, theta equals this angle, which is pi on 6, and pi on 6, 2 pi on 6, 3 pi on 6, 4 pi on 6, 5 pi on 6, 6 pi on 6, 7 pi on 6. Alright, let's try another one. Question 4. Alright, this is finally a little bit different. Sine theta equals negative root 3 on 2. The difference here is in this negative. So let's go through it. C-A-S-T. It's a sine question that's negative. So it's not going to be in this quadrant, and it's not going to be in this quadrant. It's going to be in this quadrant, the tan quadrant, and the cosine quadrant. Root 3 on 2, sine root 3 on 2, that's going to be pi on 3, which is 60. 60 degrees, 60 degrees. Remember, we're always drawing that against the x-axis. Okay, so answers, theta equals pi on 3, and then if I go through this, it's going to be pi on 3, 2 pi on 3, 3 pi on 3, 4 pi on 3. Okay, so we're going to fit one more in here. Question 5. Cosine theta equals negative a half. Okay, so again, make sure you can see this. Cosine theta equals negative a half. Again, we're drawing a circle, line, line. It's a negative question, C-A-S-T. This time it's cosine. So it's not going to be in the cosine quadrant. It's not going to be in the all quadrant. It's going to be the sine and tan quadrant. Bring my little piece of paper over. Cosine 1/2 is pi on 3, which is 60 degrees. 60 degrees. 60 degrees. It's there. Okay, so we've got theta equals pi on 3, 2 pi on 3. This is the first question where the answer hasn't been one of the basic angles. It's the first question where the answer hasn't been in the first quadrant. Okay, so 2 pi on 3, 3 pi on 3, 4 pi on 3. Okay, 5 questions done. Before I continue, it's worth noting that every single one of these questions has been between 0 and 2 pi. That's the first 5. We're going to move on to some questions, in a couple of questions where it changes, so we're going to be careful of that. Okay, so question 6 here is tan theta equals 1. Again, this is between 0 and 2 pi. So circle, check it. It's a positive question, so C-A-S-T. It's a tan question, so it's going to be in the tan quadrant and the all quadrant. Bringing my little piece of paper over here. Tan 1, that's pi on 4. Tan 1, pi on 4. Pi on 4. Pi on 4. So our answers for this one, theta equals 4, pi on 4. And pi on 4, 2 pi on 4, 3 pi on 4, 4 pi on 4, 5 pi on 4. Okay, let's go again. Question 7. Sine theta equals negative root 2 on 2. That's between 0 and 2 pi. Circle. We can see the question is negative, and it's a sine question, C-A-S-T. So it's not going to be in the all quadrant. It's not going to be in the sine quadrant, which means it's going to be in the tan quadrant and the cosine quadrant. Now, bringing a little piece of paper over, root 2 on 2, it's a sine question, sine, root 2 on 2, that's going to be pi on 4, pi on 4, oops, nope, no, it's going to be in this quadrant and this quadrant, pi on 4, pi on 4. Okay, so it's going to be this angle, and it's going to be this angle. So, pi on 4, 2 pi on 4, 3 pi on 4, 4 pi on 4, 5 pi on 4, 5 pi on 4, 6 pi on 4, 7 pi on 4. Alright, question 8. Cosine theta equals root 2 on 2. Again, circle, positive question, C-A-S-T. Cosine theta equals root 2 on 2. Cosine theta equals root 2 on 2, which is going to be pi on 4. It's a positive cosine, so it's going to be here and here. Here and here. This angle and all the way around there. So that's going to be pi on 4. Pi on 4, 2 pi on 4, 3 pi on 4, 4 pi on 4, 5 pi on 4, 6 pi on 4, 7 pi on 4. Alright, that's question 8. Question 9 is the last one where we're going to have a whole revolution of the circle. Then we're going to look at some different questions. So, question 9 asks tan theta equals negative root 3. Again, circle, C-A-S-T. It's negative, so it's not going to be in the tan quadrant, it's not going to be in the all quadrant, it's going to be in the sine and the cosine quadrant. Root 3, tan root 3 is pi on 3, 60 degrees. So 60 degrees from there and 60 degrees from there. So the two angles we want are this angle and this angle. Pi on 3, 2 pi on 3. And pi on 3, 2 pi on 3, 3 pi on 3, 4 pi on 3, 5 pi on 3. Okay. Question 10. Question 10 is where it changes. So let's look at question 10. Sine theta equals negative a half. Negative a half. Now let's look at the domain, because we've been assuming the domain has been 0 to 2 pi for all of these questions, because it has been. Question 10, it's only 0 to pi. So when I draw my circle, 0 to pi is only 180 degrees. It's only from here to here. So we need to be very, very careful. In this question, we're ignoring the bottom half of this circle entirely, because it's only the top half that matters. Okay, so sometimes you get one answer in these sorts of questions, sometimes you get two answers depending on whether the thing is in both quadrants. Now in this particular one, sine theta equals negative a half, negative a half. So it's not going to be in the all quadrant, and it's not going to be in the sine quadrant. It's going to be in the tan quadrant or the cosine quadrant. But there's a problem, because we've already said that we're only interested in angles that are between 0 and 2 pi. But the only angles we can find are ones that are in here and here. So, a big old no solution. That's not always going to happen. Sometimes you get one answer, sometimes you get two answers, sometimes you get 0 answers. That's 10 questions, 11 to go. So our next question is cos theta equals 1/2. 11, cos theta equals 1/2, and it's between 0 and pi. So again, circle, C-A-S-T, but we're only interested in the top half because it's 0 to pi. C-A-S-T. It's a cosine question and it's positive. So it's going to appear in the all quadrant, and it would appear in the cosine quadrant, but you can see we're ignoring that. Cosine theta equals 1/2. Cosine theta equals 1/2, that's pi on 3. So our only answer in this question is theta equals pi on 3. There's only one answer in this question. Question 12. Tan theta equals 1. And again, that's going to be between 0 and pi. 0 and pi. So, circle, and we're not interested in the bottom. C-A-S-T. It's a tan question and it's positive, so it will appear in this quadrant, and it would appear in this quadrant, but it won't because we're ignoring that quadrant. Okay, tan pi on 4, 1, that's 45 degrees. So that's the angle. The answer for this question, theta equals pi on 4. One answer for this question. 13. This one's a little bit different. Sine theta equals root 3 on 2. And this one's between pi and 2 pi. Okay, so if I draw my circle, that's 0 to pi. The top half is 0 to pi. The bottom half is pi to 2 pi. The bottom half is pi to 2 pi. So, pi to 2 pi. We're going to ignore the top half because we're only interested in answers that appear from here to here. Okay, C-A-S-T. It's a positive answer. So, positive answer, root 3 on 2. So it would appear here and here. Oh. We're ignoring anything that happens in here. We're only interested in what happens down here. Therefore, no solution. Okay, 14. Cos theta equals negative root 2 on 2. And again, this is going to be between pi and 2 pi. Sorry guys. Cos theta equals negative root 2 on 2, and it's between pi and 2 pi. Now, again, draw my circle. We're only interested in between pi and 2 pi, so we're not interested in anything that happens here. C-A-S-T, it's a negative cosine question, so it's not going to appear here, and it's not going to appear here. The only place it can appear is here. Alright, it could appear here, but because we're not in that domain, it can't. Let's try it out. We've got root 2 on 2. It's root 2 on 2, which is pi on 4. Pi on 4, 2 pi on 4, 3 pi on 4, 4 on 4. The answer to this question is 5 pi on 4. Only one solution to this one. Okay, let's take another look. Question 15. Okay, question 15 here, we've got tan theta equals negative root 3 on 3, and this one's between pi and 2 pi. So, same question that we've been doing. It's between pi and 2 pi, so we ignore the top. C-A-S-T. It's a negative tan. Negative, and it's tan. So it's not going to appear in tan, and it's not going to appear in the all quadrant. It can't appear in this quadrant, because we're not interested in it. The only thing we're interested in is here. So, root 3 on 3. Root 3 on 3, that's pi on 6, 30 degrees. Drawing out one there. Okay, and I'll work all the way around the circle. Pi on 3, 2 pi on 3, 2 pi on 3. Pi on 6, 2 pi on 6, 3 pi on 6, 4 pi on 6, 5 pi on 6, 6 pi on 6, 7 pi on 6, 8 pi on 6, 9 pi on 6, 10 pi on 6, 11 pi on 6. Answer here is 11 pi on 6. So a little trick question here. It's question 16. Sine theta equals 1/2 between pi and 3 pi. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Between pi, here's 2 pi, and here's 3 pi. So it appears in all quadrants, but it doesn't appear between 0 and pi, because we're not interested in 0 and pi. We're interested in between pi and 3 pi. It's going to be easier once we start, so let's take a look. Tan theta equals negative root 3 on 3. It's a tan question, C-A-S-T. So it's going to appear in this quadrant and this quadrant. Oops. Sorry. Question 16. Sorry, confusing myself here. Question 16, it's a sine question, so it's going to appear in this quadrant and this quadrant. And it's a positive answer, sine theta equals 1/2. Okay, so it's tempting here to go, well, let's draw them in. Sine theta equals 1/2. Pi on 6. Pi on 6. Alright, so we've got our two reference angles in here. Now, it's tempting to say that one of the answers would be pi on 6. But we're not interested in the first half rotation of the circle, because we're only interested in between pi and 3 pi. To put it in degrees, we're only interested in between 180 and 540. So we're not interested in the first 180 degrees, so we bypass them. We go around the circle. This is where we start counting. No angle here, but we're counting. This is from 180 onwards, or from pi onwards. We're counting, we're still counting. That's the point. So the angle is actually a full rotation plus pi on 6. 2 pi plus pi on 6. That's going to be 13 pi on 6. If we continue, this one here is again a full rotation all the way around to there. It's 3 pi minus pi on 6. If you want to, you can count all the way around. Pi on 6, 2 pi on 6. All the way around is 12 pi on 6, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. The answer is 17 pi on 6. Alright, quite a difficult question here because you need to count around the circle. Just have a go at them, think about what you're doing with it. Alright, this question is also quite a difficult question. Probably a little easier than the last one actually. It's between 0 and 4 pi. So it starts at the very beginning and it goes twice around the circle. It's between 0 and 720 degrees. We can always expect 4 answers with a question like that. Have a think about why. Okay, cos theta equals negative 1/2 C-A-S-T. It's a cosine question. It's negative, so it's not going to appear here or here. It's in here or here. Going back to my thing, cosine 1/2, that's pi on 3. So here, here. Oops, no it's not. It's in this quadrant, so here, and it's in this quadrant, so here. Pi on 3, pi on 3. Now, let's go through this because there's quite a few answers. 0 to 4 pi. So, pi on 3, 2 pi on 3. There's one of my answers. 2 pi on 3. Pi on 3, 2 pi on 3, 3 pi on 3, 4 pi on 3. 5 pi on 3, 6 pi on 3, 7 pi on 3, 8 pi on 3. 9 pi on 3, 10 pi on 3. Alright, 4 answers in a question like that because we do 2 full rotations of the circle passing by those angles twice. Okay, question 18 here. It's tan theta equals 1, and it's between negative 2 pi and 2 pi. Tan theta equals 1 between negative 2 pi and 2 pi. Now that's 2 rotations of the circle again, but it's 1 rotation in the negative direction and 1 rotation in the positive direction. Quite complicated, but again, we go through our method and we can't really go too far wrong. CAST, it's a positive tan, so it's going to appear in this quadrant and this quadrant. Positive tan, this quadrant and this quadrant. 1, so it's pi on 4. 1 angle here and 1 angle here. So there's going to be 4 answers. And the way that I'm going to go through this is first I'm going to deal with the negative. Remember, this is negative 360 degrees to 360 degrees. So I'm going to travel through negative 360, one way around the circle. Then I'm going to travel positive, 0 to 360. Okay. So, working negative first. That's negative pi on 4, negative 2 pi on 4, negative 3 pi on 4. I'm writing it this weird in a second, but it'll make sense. Negative pi on 4, 2 pi on 4, negative 3 pi on 4, negative 4 pi on 4, negative 5 pi on 4, negative 6 pi on 4, negative 7 pi on 4. That's this one here. All the way from here to here. Negative 7 pi on 4. There's our second answer. Now I've put that one first because that's a negative with a larger magnitude. It's the first negative. Negative 7 pi on 4. Negative 3 pi on 4. The next answers, now we can work forward. Pi on 4. Pi on 4, 2 pi on 4, 3 pi on 4, 4 pi on 4, 5 pi on 4. Done. Alright. Question 19. Cosine theta equals root 2 on 2. Again, this one's between negative 2 pi and 2 pi. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Cosine theta equals root 2 on 2. It's positive, C-A-S-T, in this quadrant and this quadrant. Root 2 on 2, it's pi on 4. Pi on 4, pi on 4. Again, we work backwards. So I'm going to go to the furthest one first this time. Pi on 4, 2 pi on 4, 3 pi on 4, 4 pi on 4, 5 pi on 4, 6 pi on 4, 7 pi on 4. Negative 7 pi on 4. Next one, backwards, negative pi on 4. Forwards, pi on 4. Forwards, pi on 4, 2 pi on 4, 7 pi on 4. Alright, 2 to go. Question 20, sine theta equals 1. Now, I've thrown this one in here. Definitely need to know stuff like this. Circle C-A-S-T, sine theta equals 1. I pull this thing out, I look here, sine theta equals 1. When does sine theta equal 1? Now you should know that sine is the y coordinate as this line moves around. So sine theta is equal to 1 at this point here. So at that point, this line here, that's when sine theta is equal to 1. So we're not going to get many answers here despite the fact we're rotating twice, because there's only one point at which sine theta is equal to 1. Here, 90 degrees. Negatives. Okay, that's negative pi on 2, 2 pi on 2, 3 pi on 2. That's negative 3 pi on 2. and that's my negative rotation. My positive rotation is just pi on 2. So 2 answers from 2 rotations. That's quite unusual, but it will happen when you have these boundary angles here. Last question. 21. Cosine theta equals negative 1 between negative 2 pi and 2 pi. Alright, so you should notice that this is going to result in the same kind of thing. Cosine theta is equal to negative 1. The only place that happens is here. Okay. So we work around negative. That's negative pi. We work around once. And the other way, pi. Negative 180, positive 180. So only going to be 2 answers to that. Okay, so that's 21 questions, 31 minutes it looks like that's taken. You really don't want to be spending a long time on that. Hopefully you saw that as I went, if you've sat through this whole thing, I hope you haven't, but if you have, hopefully you've seen that I'm doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Getting a rhythm, getting a pattern of how these questions work. Keep doing the same thing over and over again, and it's as simple as that.